My name's Jonathan Sigworth. I'm a C7 complete quadriplegic. I've been injured for 12 years. Something I'm really passionate about is telling stories. I've been interested in film ever since I was in middle school. My friends and I would go around and make horror movies and Lego movies and extreme unicycling movies. I've always appreciated how movies help you see the world from someone else's point of view. And I always knew that I wanted to use film in that way, but funny enough, it wasn't until I fell off a 70-foot cliff in India when I was 19 that I think I understood what I could do with it. I was injured when I was 19. I was riding a bicycle along a mountain path in northern India on my way late to class, and lost grip going around a corner and fell off a 70-foot cliff, landing next to a hospital. And I remember waking up in that hospital and learning for the first time what happened. I remember asking the doctor, will I ever walk again? And the doctor saying, we really don't know. And I said, well, if I walk again, that's great. If I don't, that's okay too. I was treated at the Indian Spinal Injury Center in Delhi, which is one of India's few specialized hospitals for spinal cord injury. And that was really important because I got exposed to, the people in India, these new friends of mine in India who had a similar injury, but they were from completely different backgrounds than me, different religious backgrounds, and from different countries too. And so I really got to see that my injury does not just happen to myself. My first goal when I went into the rehab gym in India was to do unicycling, and if I couldn't do that, I wanted to learn how to do wheelies. Maybe within the first year, I learned how to do wheelies, and that has been significant because it's enabled me to travel on my own. It's enabled me to not be afraid of falling down, going out by myself, maneuver in inaccessible environments. An important factor that allowed me to get to where I am today in terms of my independence was also developing my triceps. I had my injury between my 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae. My neurological level of injury, which is different from my injury site level of injury, is C7. So when I was first injured, I couldn't do this. I couldn't extend my arm against gravity, and it was really using electrostimulation on my tricep muscle and strengthening my tricep muscles over time that got me to be a C7, to have the muscle strength where I can lift my arm against gravity and do pop-over transfers on my wheelchair. I also got involved in wheelchair rugby within 6 months after returning to the States and finishing my rehab at Gaylord Hospital. I got involved in the Connecticut Jammers. It surrounded me with peers who were pushing just as hard as me, who made it clear that it was not okay for your parents to push you down the hall. It was not okay for your parents or an attendant to help dress you in the morning if you have the capacity to do it yourself. A much bigger goal had been to get married, and not just to get married, but to find the love of my life, which I didn't do because she found me. We met in 2013, in the fall of 2013, and we've been married for 2 years now. That's been my greatest accomplishment so far. I'd like to be a father someday, and I know that that's probably the biggest challenge ahead of me is figuring out, as a quadriplegic, as a wheelchair user, how to balance life with children. I recently learned, or am learning, how to go from the floor to my wheelchair independently using a customized stool with extra padding. I would love to be able to do it without any assistive devices, but my arm strength isn't there just yet, but I'm working on it. My advice to you, if you're newly injured, or maybe you've been living with a spinal cord injury for a while and you're still not okay with it, we need to allow ourselves to grieve what we've lost. A lot of challenges come with this. We just learn how to manage them, and we learn the skills, and there are literally millions of people around the world who suffer this injury every year. And we are our best resource. We are in such an incredible place of influence. We need to take advantage of that. And I think part of that is not being ashamed, not being intimidated, sharing our stories. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to be a social entrepreneur. I wanted to be a husband. I wanted to be a father. Why should any of that change just because I have to use wheels to get around? If I were to walk again tomorrow, I think I would feel that I had lost an ability to relate to a group of people that I've grown to care so deeply about because of our mutual struggle. None of us choose to face the challenges that we do, but they become part of us. They make us who we are. We grow and develop and change because of them. And so I have a disability. I am disabled. That's not a label of shame for me. That's a label of pride. I'm a disabled, limited human being who cannot walk, but I'm living, and I really want to keep doing what God put me on this earth to do, and this wheelchair is my ally, not my enemy.